Welcome to the In My Humble Opinion podcast, a podcast that looks to discuss a number of topics that sometimes create more questions than answers. The views and opinions expressed by the presenters are their own and can be assured are utterly and woefully misinformed. If you like explicit content and naive ignorance, then please enjoy at your own risk. English folklore
did not enter the English lexicon until around 1734.
The lexicon.
Hello. You're listening to the In My Humble Opinion podcast. We are back. My name is
With
Paul.
a bang. I'm Rob.
And we are here with a new episode today, and we're going to be talking about English folklore. So something slightly different. We're going to be delving into the depths of England's past and having a cheeky look round Mother Miggin's skirt to see what pies of history she's baking.
Lovely. Hope she's cooling them on the windowsill.
She better be, but watch out for
What's-
Peter Pokeman. He's
What's
coming
pizza
round.
Pokemon?
He's sneaking up to the window ledge and he's going to have a slice.
More worried about fucking Bilbo Baggins bowling around,
Yeah.
stealing cakes and treats.
Yeah, we know what he's like. Puts his ring on.
Yeah.
So, Rob, do you have any? Do you know of any English folklores?
There was one in the village I grew up in.
Oh, local. Okay.
Yeah, it was a local one. So I went to a very small primary school. Shout out to Shoreham. You know my boys. Represent. And
Okay.
yeah, Shoreham in Kent. That's where shit went down. Anyway, we had a music teacher there. His name was Danny, and he was a nonce. So
Is that a folklore?
I mean, it was never proven to be true or not true. It was just what we all said. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
Shoreham
that's-
Gazette done a small
that's-
piece on it. Is Danny a
Exactly.
nonce?
Is he a nonce? Yeah, I mean, that was folklore,
Yeah.
urban myth.
So I wouldn't really call that a conventional English folklore at all.
Oh, sorry,
But that's okay. Because I'm gonna hit you with some genuine English folklores.
Nice.
So you can have a little listen with your eye
Listen,
holes.
no, right? If you're in the Two Brewers in Shoreham, or if you're in the town hall, everything like that. If you go to the local little shop in Shoreham, people still talk to this day.
Yeah.
About
Danny the
about
nonce.
Danny Nonce. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't been there for like 20 years, but they must. There's nothing else going on.
There is nothing. No, he's still noncing about. I'm gonna go for a few. We're gonna have a little listen, and we're gonna
Yep.
give our opinion on what could be the crux of the folklore. What is it really about, and why is it a folklore?
What's the message?
What's the message? What are you telling us?
What's the
You're telling us
message?
something else? What's going on?
Yeah.
So I have one here. It's called The Hand of Glory. So in the days before a formal health system, the NHS, when superstition was widespread, many people resorted to consulting a local wise woman or wise man. Pagans, yeah, medicine peoples. Roughly a mixture of quack, white witch, and herbalist. Bit of St. John's wort for your depression. Some quack, yeah. Like a
What does that mean?
psychiatrist.
Is that what it is? All right. Oh,
Yeah.
Is that a technical term then? Because I
It's
thought it was just
slang.
like a slur. You fucking quack.
It is.
I don't know.
Back in those days, do you think because mental health now is quite well addressed and over analysed? What about in medieval England?
Well, I mean, you just drank, didn't you? Really?
You did, yeah.
Drank and fucked. Mental issues didn't exist
No,
because
just
everyone was
mental
happy.
fucking. Yeah,
yeah.
everyone
Everyone's
was happy.
Yeah, everyone's getting pissed. They're like, oh, let's go dig out the turnips from the field. Oh, yeah, we got some this year. Let's celebrate. Let's get
that's a
drunk.
happy time.
Have another kid. Yeah, exactly.
What
Yeah.
about if Archibald realised that his wife Ethelfred had
Right.
been cheating with the blacksmith John?
Fucking death. She'll feel his wrath.
Feel his raft.
Yeah, wrath. Feel his wrath.
That's a lovely
Yeah.
raft you got.
Well, you. Down the river.
I mean, that's true. It would have been dangerous for a lady back in those days because the only consequence of their actions, they could be called a witch.
Yeah.
That's the end of their life.
You cheated on me. You're a fucking witch.
Which John the blacksmith, though, I see why you did it.
Yeah,
It's-
I can. Yeah, I'm
got-
vibing with that.
A strong blacksmith arm.
Oh, they always do, don't they?
Just the one arm.
Man meat.
Man meat.
just one of them. The other one's like a twiglet.
It's holding the freshly forged sword, but not very well because you can't lift it up.
I don't think they like blacksmiths. They didn't really do that many weapons. It was more like horseshoes and nails.
It was nails and stuff. Like unless you were a castle blacksmith where you were part of a team where you had to arm the local unit.
Yeah. And then above you, you'd have someone being like,
"Hello there, boys. What's the yield on this?"
What's the yield on daggers today?
Yeah.
Dagglesworth.
Blacksmiths. Promiscuous.
Yeah. Dirty boys.
Dirty nails.
Yes, dirty nails.
Great lovers.
Filings. Great lovers. Rough in the sheets. Good pace, though. Constant.
Yeah.
Unforgiving.
Relentless.
Relentless. Never ending.
Yeah.
Climax was it was cinching it in the water, like
like a geyser.
Yeah. Quench that blade.
Bash out those impurities.
Take that, Swift. These local medicine people or quacks, they could be consulted on minor medical matters, like from stuff like warts, which was numerous in those days. If media is correct, everyone was well warty back then, and something close to home, Rob, hair loss.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had their hair loss at the age of 5, so when they're middle-aged, it's just a thing, isn't it?
Yep, middle-aged 5, tough life.
Yeah. Oh, he's had hard life down the mines.
Having those kids then, like, and he's like 4, and he's like, well, I'm not looking for it just yet. 2 months later, he's got 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Those kind of eras is where I should have been, I believe.
Like, if you think about it, in England, like if you go to like old medieval places or structures, the doors are very small. You would have fit right in.
Yeah. I'd have been a fucking king.
The king of the medieval time.
Yeah, I would have ruled it with an iron fist.
Yeah. The blacksmith, would he make that for you?
I'd be the blacksmith.
Rob the blacksmith.
Yeah.
So they also, not only did they like prescribe random medical shit for bollocks, they also were authorities on like weather and livestock, making sure that's they flourish and crops would yield large amounts. And they'd also be like a Dear Debbie column, so people go with their like romantic issues, and they'd help out with those as well.
Like what? Like you would go, oh, my wife just fucked Rob the blacksmith again. What do I do? And then what would their reply be? Their
reply would be something like, I've consulted the bones, and they say you should ditch her, mate.
I see.
Yeah.
Or like bones in a cup, scatter them around.
Yeah, small chicken bones. The bones say Rob the blacksmith he's too manly, too full of testosterone. His iron fist drags behind him because he can't quite lift it up. But I wouldn't want to have a fight with him, so maybe you should back away. Yeah.
There you go. See, that's how I know you well researched this.
Yeah.
This seems completely correct.
Yeah. That's what I do. So, remedies and like divinations usually involve a creation of a mixture of everyday items procured on significant days of the year to give them magical properties. So, like picking a dock leaf on a Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah, like robbing a cow when the moon is full, or if it's March, then making sure you walk backwards for 3 hours through poppies.
See, yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, like, I don't know why the NHS doesn't prescribe that nowadays.
It'd look cheaper, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like Big Pharma. Oh,
What do you want, citrulline? Or actually, one, just do you want me to rub cow shit on your feet?
Like, give me the shit.
Yeah, it looks like you've got AIDS. Don't worry about it. Tickle a badger under the chin on Sunday night and toss off a donkey.
Done.
You have to do it in that order.
Yeah,
'cause
on a
otherwise
Sunday.
You've just cured your celiac disease, and you don't want that. You want to get
That's
rid of
it.
the AIDS, and
Yeah,
the person is, in a bit of trouble.
yeah, it's important shit.
The remedies themselves, we joke, they were quite benign. Never really worked because it was just water and pig shit most of the time.
It's-
The stinkiest of all the fixes.
what the fuck?
Down
Water and
3
pig shit.
litres. Yeah, down 3 litres
Yeah.
of runny pig shit.
Oh, my son's got a fever.
Cowpole? No. Watery pig shit.
Maybe Calpol is actually the brand name for what the medicine used to be. So if you had a cough, you'd have to suck on a cow's pole.
Yeah, I
Like,
see. Yeah. How's your throat? Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine now, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm married to
Yeah.
Bessie, who has a penis for some reason.
But
Anyway.
if you're doing that like during a full moon, you'll have like 8 people patting the cow at the same time.
Yep.
Oh, I've got bronchitis. I still pat a cow. What have
don't
you got?
We'll go so far. We'll go.
don't
Oh, eh?
get bogged down with the times of the year. You got to be careful with that. There was a notable exception, though, in medieval folk magic, and it was called the Hand of Glory. The myth behind the Hand of Glory is that it was cut from a criminal hanging on a gibbet.
Yeah.
So you know what a gibbet is, don't you?
What, like a hanging device?
Like a cage, like one of those little hangy cages. That
All right. Fucking hell. What's like
you
a
not know
cage,
what a
you
gibbet
stupid
is?
boy?
It's a
I'll tell you
cage.
what a giblet is.
It's
I've
what
had my hands on a fair share of them, I can tell you.
deep in a chicken's guts, have you?
Yeah, I've figured some giblets from my time.
That is a disgusting image. So
Gotta be
yeah,
done.
on a gibbet, and
Hmm.
with the hand as it was cut from the criminal, as you do, you pickle it in urine for 13
Yeah.
days and then leave it to dry in the sun. It's only natural. That's what people
Yeah.
in the UK do to most of their items. We do like to pickle it in piss.
How the fuck did someone invent that?
Invent what, the process?
Right? Listen it. Listen it.
Yeah.
Like, I think like Mary Curie, isn't it?
What,
that
who invented
girl.
penicillin? No, it's
Yeah,
like
someone-
pasta.
No, he invented heat treatment on cheese and shit, I'm sure.
No, I think it was Louis
Someone-
Pasteur.
Fact. It was actually Alexander Fleming in 1928. Nothing to do with cheese. Derp.
Yeah, exactly. So,
It was like radiation.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense, won't it? Because the cancer charities and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, listen, Florence Nightingale, that's her. In the
Nightingale.
wars, she was
Right,
like,
Oh, yeah, you got a bad leg. I'm going to cut that off.
that makes sense. That's plausible. You can get it. I grasp that.
Good solution to like a practical solution to a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who thought, oh, that guy's dead. Let's pickle his fucking hand and dry it out in the sun and see what happens. What is this experimentation going on?
Let's read further. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was going to give a thing, but I was just like, well, we'll find out together. Okay, but not only was it like pickled in wee-wees, because
Oh,
you know, Eastern Europe hadn't come over. Pickling refinement hadn't reached
Yeah.
the UK shores yet,
sure. The
So-
connoisseurs.
Yeah, we hadn't got the right pickling material. So, like
Vinegar.
most things, we just use piss. Like, we use piss to dye our hair and all this other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we did. So, if oral histories has taught me correctly. With that, not only that, to add extra folk magicalness to it, it
Yeah.
was then nailed to an oak tree for 3 days and nights, of course. 3 being the magical number.
Ah.
Yep.
So you're telling me it was actually all the Illuminati fucking doing this?
Triangle. Wait, I mean, The Illuminati, as we found out back in episode 2, was a Bavarian society. I don't know if they travelled over on a road trip, went into Slough, and
Pickled
thought,
hands.
yeah, like I've got some pickled bratwurst here.
Yeah.
Gonna leave it on the side, and some guy was just like, I'm gonna pop a dead man's hand in that.
Yeah. Or someone's like, fuck, I've just chopped a man's hand off. Out of lunacy, dark, introvert, like, intrusive thoughts. I've cut a man's hand off. What can I do with it? I'll pop it in there.
I'll pop it in there next to the like bar snacks, like the peanuts, like the pickled eggs. The pickled eggs have all been eaten. Let's pop it in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in there, dried out in the sun, nailed to an oak tree for 3 days and nights, and it was ready. And it could hold a candle. It's like it could hold a candle, the hand itself. So somebody had shaped it in a candle type.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
they did.
A kind of thick shaft like.
Oh. Like a Lego character's hand.
Yeah, like a Lego
Yeah.
hand.
What
Yeah.
could you use that for other than a candle? A broom?
As a man, I have no idea.
Couldn't possibly. No.
No.
Old, dead, wet hand.
Cold, dead, dry hand.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Stinking of piss.
Stinking of piss, yeah. Or the fingers themselves could also be lit as candles. Added extra magic. You could light the fingers. It's dry. It's pickled. It's
Like
dry.
timber.
It's ready to go. It's like something you get off of Etsy. It's like
Right.
candle hand and wank glove.
Have a fiery wank today.
I'm having a fire.
Oh my God.
What's that smell? Burning piss.
What would that smell like? Yeah, probably a lot better than any other smells in the area, to be fair. They probably use it as air freshener.
It was a bit stinky back then. When it was lit, the Hand of Glory was supposed to render all nearby people motionless. You know, you light the candle, you're walking around like Quicksilver from the X-Men. He's just running around. He can do what he wants. They're motionless.
Wow. That's okay, yeah.
Right. You could quickly squeeze Brumhilde's knocker. She's not going to move anywhere. You could go to
One
John
knocker.
Black's one knocker because the other
Yeah.
one's holding the hand.
Right, I see.
Run round to John the Blacksmith, put his leather apron down
Yeah.
or over his head, because we all know blacksmiths just wore an apron back then.
Yeah, that's it.
Round-
Yeah.
Their
It was
bare
really warm,
muscular
wasn't it?
buttocks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Warm all the
yeah.
time. It was England
Yeah.
back then. It was always warm.
Yeah.
Never rained.
Yeah.
Imagine rain on a naked butt. It's just, it's just like I don't know why I'm doing this, but like the
Oh,
raindrops going down the crack, like
Right.
just-
Okay. Yeah. I imagine actually there's probably a lot of rain due to convection issues with like outside every house has got a fucking 3 or 4 burning hands of piss. Or like filling the clouds and making them heavy to
Oh,
rain.
God, yeah, just like pissy rain. To have a Hand of Glory was really useful and was popular amongst thieves who would use it to rob houses unmolested.
Ah, because they're all motionless.
Yeah, because
See.
maybe there was a chemical reaction with the dead hand, the piss, and the burning that
Yeah.
literally caused some kind of paralysis in the people who breathed it in.
Right. Like chloroform.
Yeah, like chloroform.
Yeah. Next time I'm playing Baldur's Gate, I'm gonna fucking search for that item.
Dropping that in there quite early, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that might happen a lot more.
It's quite likely. Yeah.
I can imagine if you were playing some kind of RPG where you're a thief and you do find Piss Hand or the Hand of Glory, it would be a very
Yeah.
key item to stealing
Yeah.
one
Especially
thing.
if maybe if you're a half elf rogue. Maybe you went to make an actual elf, but then realised that none of the elves actually have like facial hair categories on their customization because real elves don't have beards. Like none of them do. I'm not even joking. When you go into the customization, I even text my brother. I was like, mate, elves can't have beards. There's no option. He was like, oh yeah, you've got to be a half elf. And I was like, right, well, I can fucking be a half elf with a beard then, won't I?
Satan, you can't be purebred because you need that moustache
Yeah.
that twiddles at the end.
Yeah, I need a beard. Do you know what I mean? I'll be a mudblood and I'll have a beard. Thank you.
Yeah. Even though supposedly these thieves used the hand to get around and rob houses. What are they robbing anyway? Like, nobody really left little bags of gold like next to their half-eaten apple and cheese in the olden days. Like, I don't think they would have done that. What are they stealing?
Well, I mean, some ruined books, or like a wicker basket. I mean,
wicker
they were
basket.
apparently quite rife in those times.
Iron pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, you might go down in the cellar, and just find a stash of like 400 gold pieces upstairs. They literally all live in one room.
They do. They're sleeping in there, but you can't molest them because that's the rules. The thieves still could be traced though, because even though they were motionless, the victims, they could still see with their eyes and know that it was Dugglesworth. He's crept in. He's managed to procure one of these Hand of Glories, and they instantly go to the local constabulary and or Bobby's and go around to talk to Bobby's, and they would arrest Dugglesworth. So more for him.
Do you think that does resonate with me? Actually, maybe you've experienced that yourself.
There have been gaps in my life where I've been completely
paralyzed. Laying in bed and you're completely paralyzed, and you're like, "Oh no, I'm fucking paralyzed!" That's not sleep paralysis, mate. That's piss fingers on fire.
It's piss fingers.
Yeah.
The man in the hat. Yeah. Is it you? And what I've stolen? My wooden plate.
You want to smell my fingers?
Yeah, I've stolen your dusty slippers from your chest of drawers.
Those dusty slippers.
Yeah.
There was a guy called William Henderson who was a folklorist in the 1800s, and he wrote a tale of a thief who used the Hand of Glory at a place called the Old Spittle Inn in Yorkshire. You know the place, yeah? You've been there?
Yeah.
Because we're English, we all go to the same pub.
Yes.
Just
all live near it.
Yep. After the tea alarm that goes off whenever the king wants to have a cup of tea, presses the alarm, country stops. We use our trap kettles that are in our backpacks.
Yes.
Make a brew.
Yeah.
And then we continue on our way after we finish our biscuit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. All of that is facts in our hamper.
Exactly. Hopefully, the king doesn't press the tea bell now because we're doing a podcast.
That must be like a massive bell for him to press with his fat fucking custard fingers.
It is. It's like it's the size of a swimming pool. He just flaps his hand over. It's like the beginning of Independence Day. It's just like through the clouds. They come in. Run away from the shadow. This William Henderson tells the story of this thief, and the thief was using the hand, and the hand's spell only worked when people were already asleep.
How about that?
Right? Motionless. They're asleep.
It's working.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, a suspicious cook had remained awake to keep an eye out on the furtive guest, the thief that staged that very evening.
Right.
Cook's got his eyes open. He's staying awake. Having quenched a candle with milk, the only way to put it out, possibly due to the milk's association with new life, which is opposite to death.
What the fuck? Where's that? What are you saying? What? They're putting out candles with milk?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's association with new life.
What the fuck, man?
People just, give their the two finger and thumb a little lick, and they meant like that, or blow it with their mouths.
Yeah. Instead, like, I'm just gonna pour some fucking milk over.
Yeah.
So you got some milk, you accidentally slip because you've had 5 pints of mead.
Yep.
You're a bit lagged up. You put the candle out of your milk, accidentally overspill it. But now it's fucking pitch black dark. You can't see where the fucking soured milk is. There's fucking milk everywhere, all over the place. And then what? What, you just go to bed?
That does make you wonder. Like, medieval times were quite smelly just because it was soured milk all over the place. And the candle makers are loving it because the candle's ruined. They got to sell new ones.
Yeah.
Sold, mate. Well
Fucking
done.
soured milk and piss fingers.
After the candle was put out with nature's life-giving milk,
What if you haven't got any milk?
you could use evaporated milk,
Long life,
Long life milk.
condensed milk.
UHT.
Put a can of condensed milk. Throw a Caramac at it.
Okay, so because the cook was suspicious and stayed awake, the thief put out the candle. The cook then woke everyone up and locked the robber in a room. So the robber was plundering in a room. Cook got up behind him, gave it a little turn with his really key-shaped key, like they did in the olden days.
Yeah, proper keys.
Proper keys, and got him trapped and then charged with robbery, and he was hung.
Oh.
So in that way, piss hand didn't work.
You think someone took his hands and thought, right, got some free hands here.
Yeah. The moral of the story is it's not magical. It's pissy hand. People thought because people were asleep, they were motionless because they're coming in with a burning piece of flesh that's been dried in the sun. They were just heavy sleepers because the water was good and they were drunk all day. So
yeah, they're just up all night drinking fucking milk, and they're asleep.
No, they didn't drink.
They're asleep.
Just for candles.
Is that why everyone was really, really short, like my height?
Yeah,
they just didn't drink
brittle
milk
bones. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess what William Henderson is trying to say there is that uneducated peasants could fuel the fevered imagination of something being mystical if it goes through certain like procedural acts. So just because you turn a page over like clockwise instead of anti-clockwise, doesn't mean that your foot will fall off or Wednesday will swap over to Tuesday, and then you have to start your week a bit early again.
You'd be so pissed off, wouldn't you? You get to Wednesday, hump day. Yeah, like, right, we're over halfway through the week. They're like, well, you didn't leave your bookmark on the right page, did you?
Now we're ruined.
Yeah,
we're ruined.
now back a day.
Work. There is a surviving example of the hand, a hand of glory, at the Whitby Museum in North Yorkshire, and it's on display. It was found in 1935 in an old house, and it's worth noting that the hand of glory superstition are very strong in the folklore of North England. And this particular example was concealed within a wall, either a thief's hiding place for his like piss key, he's like pissy like thief tools. Or it was perhaps to turn the spell on would-be robbers so that they wouldn't rob because they just fall asleep. And the Hand of Glory is also recorded in Europe as well. So it travelled over, and Europe also has the Hand of Glory.
But if you're doing it as like a deterrent, right, so you're like, right, everybody, bedtime now, I don't know, let's all go to bed. Oh, did you shut the doors? Yeah, shut the doors. Did you turn the plugs off? Yeah. Did you light the piss fingers? Yeah, lit the piss fingers. And then you all fall asleep. You would never wake up again, would you?
No, you wouldn't wake up. There's no milk to turn off any lights anyway. It's all been used up.
So like you're just fucking knocking yourself out and the intruders.
Yeah, you turn it on.
You all wake up
you're
at the same time when it like it extinguishes. All wake up and you just got a thief like laying on the floor with like a lock pick in his fingers. Because
Morning.
He's dust himself off. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Evening. Oh, hello, George. How you doing, George? You all right? Yeah. See you tomorrow. Bye.
We'll try again. I've got another 3 of these things. A guy came. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was selling them with like dusters and cleaning stuff. I said I'll give him a hand. He gave me.
Oh, you're on hard knocks at the minute.
Yeah.
Like fucking selling it on Avon or something.
Avon, medieval Avon, just about.
Yeah.
Medieval
Avon's calling. Here's your chastity belt for you, love.
Bridget sounded and Sam's pie. Let's get round the hat. Come on, hit it. She's wearing some pants made of like beef jerky.
Oh, fuck's sake. Let's get around there. Oh, I really hope they've got those glory fingers in there.
Oh, that would spice up my marriage or my affair with John the fucking blacksmith till I
With John the Blacksmith's fingers, just like plaster casts of his hand going around the village, pointing upwards with his massive finger.
Yeah, like a gun almost, like this,
Yeah,
with the thumb
get a ghost.
erect as well,
Yeah.
so you can get, you can,
Yeah, or you could pay
do
extra
that.
and get like
Yeah,
the blacksmith bowling hand.
yeah.
You get that with attachable hand crank, so you could really like
Exactly.
whittle it around. Yeah,
Yeah. There's a pattern in that.
there is. We'll try and have a look. Okay, so yeah, we'll move on to the next one. The next one in English history, in folklore history, it's called the Wild Hunt. So this is
Right.
a real thing from English folklore. So you may have heard of the Wild Hunt in CD Red's much loved
Yeah.
game, The Witcher 3, or just
Winds
The
howling.
Witcher, The Witcher books. Also in general, the Wild Hunt is a genuine part of history. With the Wild Hunt, it kind of derives. Well, I'll tell the story. So, lone travelers.
mate.
No worries. Lone travellers on certain nights of the year must be careful that they are not seized by a whole troop of ghostly huntsmen and dragged into the pit of hell.
Right, why certain nights and not other nights?
Busy, like
What,
got-
the ghosts are busy?
yeah, galloping,
Yeah.
because they've
Right.
got like a group coupon for
Yeah.
every Tuesday,
2
and
for 1 of student night on Monday.
student night on Monday, obviously, and
Yeah.
they look young enough because they're ghosts.
Beryl's got a love honey order coming in on Thursdays, so they're all around there checking their clobber out.
Checking the clobber out, they're wearing it. But yeah, only certain nights of the year. They're busy other times. Ghost stuff, possibly. The Wild Hunt, as the tradition is called, is common through North Europe and is believed to be of pre-Christian origin. Kind of comes through there, and that's probably where it swept through Poland, and maybe where the writer of The Witcher got the idea from, kind of draw real life to kind of create his fantasy version of the Wild Hunt. But they think that the Wild Hunt probably comes from Germanic folklore and a remnant of the pagan belief of any Anglo-Saxons before their conversion in the year 597. It's a mixed. Yeah, I love 597.
Got a nice Bordeaux from.
Wasn't that the year that Keeping Up Appearances came out?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, absolute fact. Yeah, the bouquet residence was rife with an assortment of delicacies.
It was a travelling stage show at the time where Hyacinth Bouquet and Richard Bouquet would go round to towns, put on their show of people who thought they were well above their station and made all the villagers laugh.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened.
It's exactly it. Try to prove it otherwise.
Prove it wrong. You can't.
Okay, so the first account of the Wild Hunt in English folklore comes in like an entry from 1127 in the Peterborough Chronicle. Okay, leaders. Yep, leaders in news.
Right.
A
Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. Peterborough's press. And a historical document was compiled from the time period from the 9th century to the 14th century to try to see any correlation of stories.
That's quite a big gap.
That's 500 years.
That's just a lot of waiting around, isn't it?
I mean, was the reporter there?
They're jotting shit down. They're like, right, okay, yeah, this is going to come to fruition in about 500 years. Let's start it now.
They're like, Johnny, it's your first day on the job in the Peterborough Chronicle. Get out in the field. And he's like, yep, he's there. He's waiting. He's waiting. He's an 18-year-old lad. You know, time passes. He's 97. And then Johnny comes to take his post. Not a story written on his little parchment. Nothing there. And it's like, Johnny, there you go. There's your like tree stump. I've been sitting here for a little, you know, it's your turn now. And another 100 years passes.
Like that cathedral they've been building for like 1 million years in Spain.
Yeah.
Well, just finish it. Like, it's done.
Just
like,
do
fuck
it.
me. Like, just finish it. What are you doing? Just get it done.
So
People need to pray.
people need to pray. There's not enough
Yeah.
churches in Spain. Like, come on. This one needs to
Exactly.
be done like now.
Yeah,
People need to pray.
yeah.
So during that historical compilement of information, compilement is a word.
All right.
Many people saw and heard a great number of huntsmen haunting. The huntsmen were described as being huge, wearing black, looking hideous, and they rode on black horses and on black he-goats.
Yes.
Yep. And they had hounds, which were
Dogs.
yep.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Was it just dark? Like, was it like it like it was just night?
I can imagine like Terry's wig and
Yeah.
Jerry's Worth, both
Yeah.
medieval names. They've
Yes.
bid down the Green Dragon. They've had
Yeah.
some mead. Right, they're walking back.
Yeah.
You know, we'll just shorten their names to like Terry and Jerry. All right.
Tez and Jez.
Tez and Jez, married to Sharon and Karen. All right. So
gas.
So Tez and Jez,
Oh, man,
they're
do
talking
you
about their
remember
wives.
Shaz and Kaz?
They're talking about their wives Shaz and Kaz. Right. They're like,
I don't know when we're ever gonna, make it with them. They seem really protective over keeping their skirts down.
All right, well, don't worry, lad.
Not from the fucking films I've seen with Shaz and Kaz, I can tell you that. They have no issue keeping them down, up, or whatever. Yeah.
Off.
Oh, I'm flustered.
Tez and Jez, arms around each other. They're like singing merry songs. They're walking down the road.
Yeah.
Like it's dark. They look over on the hill. They're like,
Fuck, look over there.
and like they look over there, and like there's huge shadows of like what looks like big men on he-goats and dogs, right? And they're like, oh, run away, right? And then like the light day kind of comes in, and it's just a small bushel. It's just like it's just blowing a little bit, and like there was a goat behind it, and he's been there the whole time, just eating, tin cans or whatever, because tin was around back then.
Yeah, because that's what they do. But yeah, it's just some like random thing going on in the dark.
Yep.
Because it's dark, you can't see what's going on. So you're like, oh, it must be that.
Do you think back in the past as well, in medieval times, people's eyesight was better because it wouldn't have like be used to like artificial light?
Maybe. I mean, Specsavers, did they do like any health checks on your eyes back in those days?
I thought Specsavers were like on the corner of every like village back then.
Yeah,
Now
I mean,
Starbucks.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, maybe every little homestead had a
like a concession, like a Specsavers concession in there. Like you wake up and you're like,
all right, Jill. I can see you're right. You started early today, haven't you? Cup of tea.
She's like, oh yeah. Anyway, look at these
good weekend. Yeah, look at pictures of my kids. Yeah, just a normal shit, fighting over mugs.
Yep, normal medieval times. Anyway, this continued story kind of was perpetuated and was then overheard by monks. And there was a monk called Vitalis who recorded a similar encounter in Normandy in France in 1092.
Right, hang on. So this guy's basically like Jay from The Inbetweeners. Oh, when I was in Normandy in France, I saw a fucking shadow. Whoa!
I saw they were bigger than those ones. So yeah. And the hunters were recognized by Vitalis, the monk, as being recently deceased parishioners. So he's kind of twisted the tale a little bit there, probably laden with guilt because he murdered them.
Yeah, obviously.
A couple of days before.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. But those people are dead. Oh, that's because they're fucking evil now.
They didn't pray hard enough, and they didn't give enough gold. I had to, in Christ's name, and now they're after me.
Yeah, he complained as I tried to do things to his body.
When he was dead.
Yeah. I was trying to cut his hand off. Shit's got to get pickled. And they kick off and they start hunting everyone.
It's crazy. So this guy Vitalis as well, like he kind of saw them every night for 9 weeks. So he saw this like wild hunt
Right.
of parishioners in the same sort of sense, riding big black horses and a dog. And he kind of like perpetuated that story quite a bit.
9
And-
weeks.
Yeah. So he thought
That's longer than the summer holidays from school. That's
It
a
is,
long
isn't it?
fucking time.
every
That's,
night.
Shit, that's a lot. Do you
Yeah.
think it was like not parishioners, it was Harry Krishners, all dressed in black.
They would have been like, what are they doing? Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's Catholic. He wouldn't have a fucking clue.
I don't have a fucking clue, and I'm an atheist.
So, I mean, Vitalis kind of like tried to compound that idea, what he saw, as being, in their superstitious way, as like a punishment to the parishioners. Like, we don't actually know what happened to them. We don't know if Vitalis did anything to them or molested their dead corpses, whatever. But he thought it was their punishment. And that kind of then pushed the wild hunt into the fact that the wild hunt seemed to be demons accompanied by the damned. So
Right.
his story changed it in a religious way and changed,
Yeah.
you know, like there'd be the wild hunt, the possible main guy of the wild hunt was the demon, and then his band were the damned souls of whoever was around the local area, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the punk band. I thought you were talking about it's just one demon and then like a punk band
The
called
punk
the Damned.
Could have been them.
Knew it.
So yeah, that was you know, the monk kind of finalized what would essentially be the myth of the wild hunt, and from there it's kind of grown out of stories passed on from there. It's had the religious twist to it, and essentially ended up in a popular book series as the Cool Wild Hunt.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, bad boys.
Deadly. Naughty. Scallywags.
Scallywags go down to Gala Bingo and then searching for Siri. Like,
And you had like ring wraiths.
yep, they're kind of like the Wild Hunt as well, actually, in a way. Yeah.
Basically are. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So Tolkien,
What are you saying about my man?
I'm saying he's exactly like J.K. Rowling and fucking stealing little snippets here, little snippets there, you know.
Of course, all stories are kind of stolen from something. Tolkien never, like, you know, shirked away. Like, he literally stole loads of stuff from British folklore anyway and twisted it around. But he also invented, like, fucking language. So, shit.
Which mean he invented language?
He did. He invented Elvish. He wrote it down. Like, it's like he's made, like, he invented the Elvish language.
How many people
And
speak it?
No, I've met no one who speaks it. I've seen videos of people speaking it.
I
Is
think
it-
more people speak Klingon than Elvish.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, well, don't you dare talk about my mother like that.
Exactly.
All right, okay. I've got another one called The Devil's Footprints.
Yeah.
Interlude.
Oh,
Right.
actually, just quickly talking about mothers, my mum phoned me yesterday and she told me off, and she said you're a cunt because of the would you rather
Oh,
thing. Yeah.
she actually
Listen-
listened to it.
Yeah, she listens every week. Thanks. And she was like, yeah, and you could tell him. She didn't say that. She didn't. Oh, Paul.
Oh, I know, yeah. I didn't, when I read out that question, I regretted it instantly because I knew I put you on the spot. But then, you know, your response to that was something similarly disturbing, which
Well-
my mother then had a go at me and you about.
Well, you know, we're creatives. We're artists.
We're artists, you know. What we're
Yeah.
going to do? Have sex with our mother's bodies and someone else's mind? Or
Well, yeah.
someone else's body?
What's it going to be?
These questions need to be asked, Doreen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
thanks
fair
for
enough.
thanks for liking every one of our TikTok videos as well, Doreen. All in one hit. A
Nice. Cheers,
lovely,
man.
lovely bunch of notifications there. I appreciate that. Thanks. Okay, so the Devil's Footprints. We're talking 1800s here, right? The winter of 1855.
Anything happen in like 1990 or like
The
2000?
Italian World Cup.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's another.
Gary Lineker shit his pants.
How do you know that?
If football, I stopped watching football around the time Steve McManaman retired.
Wow.
Macca's was my man. So
Yeah,
anything
he
like
was.
that, I gave up. I was like, football's dead now to me.
Yeah, fair enough. Ian
Yeah.
Rush is no longer around.
It's a shame because when
The game's
I s-
over.
I saw him when I was a kid, I was like, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna have a moustache like him. It didn't work.
That's all
Grow a
right.
moustache. For some reason, my moustache only grows right in the middle under my nose, much like a well-known German dictator.
Yeah. What do you do? Just like brush it over?
I
What is
brush
that?
it over. Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's like a
Fucking comb over.
comb over for my lip. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Anyway, so
Right.
the winter of 1855 was harsh, and the snow fell thick. People froze to death, and others were close to starvation as food stores were ruined and livestock deceased. You're getting the gist of it now.
Yeah, it sounds diabolical.
It was cold, and as if this wasn't bad enough, the people of Devon, that lovely place in the southwest of England, were apparently visited by the devil himself.
Fuck. Like, it's cold, and the devil's like, I know where I'm going for my fucking winter break.
Right? Yeah, I know.
Devon.
Step out of hell, pop to Devon.
Yeah.
Get
me a nice.
cream tea. Have a little delicious one there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking, like, what is good in Devon? Yeah, and it is clotted cream. Look at you.
I know. Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
place. Yeah. The devil visited on February the 8th and 9th in 18. It's very specific.
Yeah.
Cloven hoof tracks mysteriously appeared across 40 to 60 miles of the Devon countryside.
Right, because what? I mean, because animals didn't have hooves back then.
Whilst it would be tempting to blame goats or deers for the tracks, this does not explain how the footprints came to be present on rooftops.
Listen to me now. A couple of weeks back, I don't know, a month or so in the summer, when the sun was high and I was wearing shorts, my youngest son went to like a birthday party at a fucking horse riding place. Yeah, I'm fucking up. I look over at like the little party area where they all eat their like chicken nuggets and all that shit. A couple of benches. There is a goat stood on top of like a chicken house. Like, just stood on the top. It's like 10 meters high.
I know.
Probably not 10 meters high, a couple of meters high. And you're telling me, and he's just stood there, looking. And I'm stood there looking at him. And my kids are having fun. And the parents are there chatting shit. Oh, yeah, pensions. And I'm like, yeah, pensions. Look at the goat. He didn't move. You're telling me a goat can't get on a roof?
No.
Please.
Well, obviously you did. Anyway, back in those days, it wasn't goats. It was the devil himself. Now, these tracks appeared...
His stepometer must have been like fucking
He's clocking in
out.
10,000 steps, like easy.
Those calories, he must be burning off.
I know. He's
Brilliant.
a svelte lad, the devil. The tracks appeared over the course of several nights and seemed to indicate that whatever had made the tracks was travelling in a predetermined direction, climbing directly over houses and haystacks in an unbroken line.
Dear God.
Straight to the source. The devil was not initially blamed, but many Devonians, or people from Devon. Devonians.
I thought like just devil worshippers.
I thought that as well. But
like, oh yeah, it's my boy.
It's my boys. There they are.
It's not a goat. It's my boy. Yeah.
Anyway, people from Devon suspected that they were the victim of a practical joke mocking the rural populace. Yokels, twats,
Or like crop circles.
inbreds. Yeah, like derp. The national press was flummoxed way back then in 1855.
So that was based in Peterborough, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the national press. Yeah.
Yeah, the national press.
Yeah. BuzzFeed was blowing off the hook. It was different back then. So instead of like which friend's character are you, it's like which member of Lord Charleston's court will thy be? Have thou seen Lady Ducksworth's ankle? Check now. Clickbait. So yeah,
like medieval version of Hello Magazine.
yeah, easy peasy. But they were flummoxed and attributed the tracks to some strange and mysterious animal endowed with the power of ubiquity. However, the tracks apparently coming from a cloven hoof thing naturally led to the assumption it was the devil in his popular Baphomet incarnation.
Ah, the old Baphomets.
Yeah.
Well, do you think it's like people playing fucking Spider-Man and changing their or Fortnite and changing their skin?
Got to
gonna be this skin today.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Baphomet.
I'm the devil.
500 coins for Baphomet. It's difficult.
If you're the devil and you're sneaking about and shit, you're not going to behave like that. And also, you're not going to fucking behave like that at all. You're not going to be walking. You're going to be like,
I'm operated here from hell. Now I fancy fucking strolling around round the bars. Look at a shitty little village in Devon.
no, just apparate yourself there, you stupid cunt.
I know. I mean, thanks for that. Baphomet, but like Baphomet's form is like, furry leg with cloven foot.
Like a goat.
Yeah. But upper body is like James Bond tuxedo and Ray-Bans. It's like that with a cigarette in one of those plastic long things, and he's like,
"Oh, I love them."
Skanky. Once the devil hypothesis had gained some traction,
doesn't take long. It went viral.
Yeah, it went viral, massively viral. After all, who or what could walk in a straight line over obstacles and leave cloven footprints for 60 miles in winter? It's only got to be the devil.
Only one reason, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason was found. The church had recently replaced its standard prayer book with a new, less popular version.
Oh, I knew it.
Yep, it was like the in-betweeners book. Like sometimes they release like from a TV series, just like some comedy.
An annual.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the gospel according to Jay from the In-Betweeners. The priest was like,
"Oh yeah, I don't remember Jay being one of Jesus's disciples. I'll bring it in and we'll have a look."
Yeah, I was there, mate. I am. I was there. Mary Magdalene banged her.
Banged her, washing her feet, more like washing her clunge. Like,
oh man, that's a deep dive.
Yeah, take that, religion. Insert religious music here. So the church had replaced its standard prayer book with Jay's gospel. Naturally, this has attracted the devil, presumably hoping to find some easy pickings amongst the now sinful population.
Trying to find Mary Magdalene. Jay's written a whole fucking dirty, sordid chapter on it, and he's like, "Oh, I like the sounds of that."
Yep.
Let's have a go.
The devil is an ever-present being in folk belief and is often blamed for natural formations and duped clever people like a pantomime villain. So his reappearance in a 19th century Devon correspondences of the time would have seemed implausible.
So it's like a pantomime. It's behind you.
Yeah, like there's two men in a devil costume. And one's like the back.
Like Chinese dragon.
Yeah,
dancing, jumping around on roofs.
He's going there. He's got roofs. Like it's two men. That's why you can walk like 60 kilometers. Although there's a lack of concrete evidence for the phenomenon, it is a red flag for rational minds. Obviously, we're talking about goat on the chicken house.
Yeah.
And also, this also means that the hoof prints remained unexplained. However, since more than 30 separate locations in Devon and its neighbouring Dorset bore witness to the hoof prints, there must be some kind of truth to it. Theories around the print.
People from Cornwall. There's people from Cornwall coming over and be like,
"Right, Cornwall. We're Cornwall. You're Devon. We're gonna fuck you right, man. We're gonna make you think the devil's here."
Yeah,
obviously,
they went there
dropping their propaganda here.
They started Devon mascot of like pig, like pig with a tattoo of a cream pie on its back.
Exactly.
And they're like, "Oh,
bloody Cornwall again."
Like, that's
Oh, went in there, swapped over their little prayer books.
Yep.
Oh, they fucked them over.
The
That's
Twats Bible. Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah, look, it's the Twats Bible. Since more than 30 separate locations in Devon and neighbouring Dorset bore witness to the hoof prints, there must be a grain of truth. Theories around the prints' provenance include a balloon escaping and its trail had blown lines as it bounced along. You know,
Oh, right.
18th century balloons, mice jumping in the snow with their big cloven feet.
Yeah, the massive
Obviously.
feet.
It's mice.
There's that blacksmith been fucking around on these moises' feet again.
He's put big metal galoshes on them.
Most implausibly, badgers.
Patches?
I think
I
that's
mean-
more plausible than mice.
Maybe. I don't know. Badgers, I mean, no.
I think this could be badgers. A badger has got into someone's house, rifling around for some cream scones.
Yeah,
Accidentally, scuffled, like fallen over, rolled in a comical slow manner, like
yeah.
into their shoebox.
Yeah.
Spun around in there. Got out the shoebox, is wearing like 4 like like Air Force Ones, and he's like,
Right.
he's just running through the snow. He's completely disorientated,
Yeah.
lost, and he's leaving like all these footprints. Right.
Done.
Most likely, travelling gossip about one set of unusual tracks probably led to the fearful locals attributing normal animal prints to the same supernatural source.
That's quite boring, though. Imagine if, like, you were down the pub and you'd be like, "Oh, I've got a tale for you. An animal walked around loads in the village." Ooh. Or it was the devil.
Devil,
I
right?
know what I would be more inclined to listen to. If some bloke was like, "Oh yeah, a goat walked on my roof," I've already zoned out. If someone said the devil, I'm in.
I'm in. I'm definitely in. The thought of someone or something causing mysterious tracks, scaling houses, whilst the unwitting were asleep in the process, is deeply disturbing. But in March 2009, a pensioner from Devon awoke one morning to find another set of mysterious footprints in the snow, which she instantly feared was the devil again. So it had persisted all that time, and she's like, Steve, the devil's been on house. Like, it's just-
Oh, that bloody devil.
So yeah, I mean, it's probably animals, but it seems like people were fairly simple back then, or maybe less cynical.
2009.
All right, Devon hasn't
Has it
really
happened anywhere else in the country?
Devon and
Devon.
Dorset. Yeah,
Dorset.
yeah.
All right. Maybe it is good holiday destination, I guess.
You got to
Yeah.
get people to go down there for some reason in winter because it's a summer holidaying destination. Yeah.
That's a good point. The locals were like, "Oh, we got shot. I don't know what that accent was. They're like, "Oh, it's the winter months. Let's shut the shop." And they're like, "Hang on. Let's get some more all year round money coming in." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's go.
We ordered in 500 cornettos for summer. It was a slow month.
Yeah.
We're going to try and flog these winter ice creams, but there's no reason people are coming down. The devil.
Yeah. The devil.
The devil was here.
Get him in.
All right. Okay. Let's move from Dorset and we'll go on to my final story. Okay. And this is called The Vampires of Drakelow.
Yeah.
Yeah? You know this
Yeah.
one?
No.
The Vampires of Drakelow seems like it's like a spin-off of Riverdale. Like it's some kind of it's like Angel for like teen girls.
People that sit and watch Buffy.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, oh, Buffy.
Yeah. Which one would you bang most in Buffy?
Out of everyone in Buffy, like the main.
Apart from Giles.
Damn it. I want brains and beauty. Well, out of the, I mean, what are you pinpointing it down to the 3, like what, Buffy, Willow, and Cordelia?
I didn't say that.
You
You
did.
did.
No, I said their names. You just
Yeah,
said,
I just said
bang
who would you
Buffy.
bang in Buffy apart from Giles? You're trying to fucking gatekeep me.
which series?
Oh my god! I don't know, 12. I don't know.
It doesn't go up that far.
No. Oh, okay. What about who was that? Who was the one that like the bad girl?
Which one?
Or the bad one, like the vampire slayer that came from the Bronx in
Oh,
leather
Faith.
trousers. Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
yeah. There you go.
She's pretty decent.
Yeah.
She later went on to acting another Joss Whedon series
Did she?
called Dollhouse. Yeah, I'd give that a
Oh.
watch. Yeah.
Did he do?
He took
anything
pictures
to
of her feet, probably. Yeah, he's a bit.
Yeah.
He's got a Tarantino's about him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Yes.
creates.
He was also
strong-
in Bring It On.
She was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
No, Joss Whedon, he creates strong female characters, so he can just film them, jumping around in short stuff.
What a man.
Anyway, thank you, Joss. Right, the Vampires of Drakelow, now on CBBC.
Starring Tracy Beaker.
Sorry, Tracy Beaker. And oh god, yeah. Sorry, I can't think of another CBBC. And Pia Turner, I was gonna go. How fucking old is that?
Turner. Oh man.
Connie Huck.
Yes, Dad.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dad.
Awful voice. One of the worst.
Costume,
Yeah.
Wardrobe.
Great wardrobe.
makeup top notch,
Yeah.
tits.
Yeah.
She had them all.
She had two of them. She still might. I don't know.
I think she does. She's married to Charlie Brooker, who writes Black Mirror.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
What a weird matchup that was. Yeah.
I know. I'm fucking gonna be googling later. The Wild Hunt.
The Wild Hunt. The Vampires of Drakelow.
Yeah.
The term vampire did not enter the English lexicon until around 1734.
Lexicon. Like the fucking artifact in
Like the device
Skyrim.
Skyrim. It's also a term of language. The lexicon is a language.
Whatever, man.
We're instantly like, that's Skyrim. If you look in the dictionary or the lexicon, you'll find the word lexicon.
Oh, okay.
You ruined my reading, my audible voice.
Sorry, but like you get to start again. Shit.
Given that the tale is 11th century, but there is really no more appropriate noun to describe the beings than Geoffrey of Burton claims haunted rural Nottinghamshire.
Right, so Robin Hood.
Yeah. Back in those
Robin
days,
Hood and his little lexicon.
his little lexicon, he's shaking
Bowling around.
Yeah. There's a guy
Like a
that
snow globe.
who's following me around, like shouting at dragons.
Yeah.
Also, I like that this guy who's like telling the story of the Vampires of Drakelow is Geoffrey of Burton. like
Why
back in
put
those days, if you wanted to make yourself sound important, you put "of" as your middle name.
Yeah.
like
Like-
Steve of Burton on Trent or Jack of Croydon.
Oh, of Greatness Lane.
All of Greatness Lane.
That sounds
Oh,
alright, actually.
that's fine. Greatness Lane was the name of the road sounds much better than it actually looked. It was a windy piece of shit.
I loved it. You could do what you want. It's like the Wild West.
It was the Wild West, yeah. Wild West. Though the word vampire is not used before the 18th century, there are many vampiric beings in English folklore. Indeed, the Walking Dead were apparently so common in 12th century England that William of Newburgh,
Oh,
old Willie Newburgh, said that it was too tedious to chronicle them all.
These Walking Dead, so many of them, tedious. Oh, I'm fucking bored now. It's like, where are my quail's eggs?
Too many series of The Walking Dead is too tedious to watch them.
that's very true, actually. Yeah, I get that. I fell off after like season 4, 5, 6, or whatever it was.
You're not missing out on anything. No.
Oh, okay.
Around 1090, the year 1090, not the time in medieval times. It's 10.
Diet Coke break.
Diet Coke break 1090. And then, like, it's just 1090, and then it cuts to loads of women just looking out of their tavern window at John the Blacksmith, and he's like sponging himself down over the hot coals, right?
Quenching his thirst with an ice cold beverage.
Absolutely.
Plus, they're all like, they're down by the river washing clothes.
Yeah.
It's 10:50.
John the Blacksmith is dunking his apron in the river. It's all slow motion, but everything else is like real speed.
Just throws his soiled clothing at them and plunges his blade into the river.
Which is his 9-inch nail. Yes, there's John. Right. But the year 1090.
Right, yeah.
2 villagers from Stappenhill fled to Drakelow, which is in Derbyshire. Drakelow, which was owned by a Norman aristocrat called Roger the Poitevin. Roger the Poitevin.
That was his actual name.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Poitevin is. Imagine
you're born, but you haven't got a name. You're born, you haven't done anything. They'd be like, it's Paul the Carpenter.
Yeah.
It's like, what's he going to be?
Roger, like
he's actually he's actually works in admin, but
Jack Admin. Larry refuse collector.
Oh, that's Pauline, the Pauline data entry.
Pauline data entry. Steve the stapler. But, I mean, anybody called Roger instantly, because the way British slang can be, Roger means Roger with your Todger, like to have Congress with a lady. If someone's called Roger the Poitevin, whatever a Poitevin is, it's that Roger the Poitevin means fucking it.
Roger points it right in.
Roger puts it in. Their home village, Stappenhill, was owned by the Abbey of Burton, and the peasants were fleeing from working for their monastic overlords. Hearing the peasants' fraudulent complaints against their former masters...
Oh, you bastards!
Oh, you baggers! Roger plundered the Abbey's storehouse at Stappenhill, seizing crops from the barn and removing them to his own buildings at Drakelow. And then an armed fight broke out between Roger's knights... and 10 outnumbered knights employed by the Abbey. So the Abbey could only scrape together enough money for 10 knights.
Well, like mercenaries, chuck them a couple of septims.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of...
Two lads, yeah.
God, I've got this much gil. Let's go.
Got leather bracer with a star pendant attached to it. You do all right.
Yeah, you know you do. Look at his funny eyes.
Don't look at my eyes.
His eyes, they're yellow.
So yeah, Roger's knights and the 10 outnumbered knights employed by the Abbey had a fight, which later miraculously won through monk prayers. So the 10 knights of monk prayers beat like that Don army from Drakelow.
What kind of banner were they carrying into battle?
It was the Holy Bible of Jay from the Inbetweeners.
It's a clunge.
Just says thine clunge.
Let's take out these night wankers.
It's like 500 of them.
Yeah. Oh.
Go on, fuck off back to Drakelow, you bastards.
Right, I will.
Get yourself got.
What are you fighting for? I know your mum Fanny. Yeah, I go at you lot.
There we go, we nailed the accent.
Yeah.
The next day, the 2 peasants who started the trouble, Merry and Pippin, that's not their names, sat down to eat and suddenly died.
Or they just sat down. Oops.
It's like,
Oh, lovely! You made Finder's crispy pancakes and then there's some sweet potato chips. Oh, look!
they sat down, one mouthful, perished.
Dead.
Yep. You fell in your hot Finder's crispy pancake. That would definitely burn a man.
Yeah. No,
Like,
valid.
Solid inside.
God, they're fresh out the toaster. Blow them, they're hot. Fuck off, mum.
I won't.
Bang, dead.
On taste for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So those crispy fingered pancake eating bastards were buried the next morning at the Church of Stappenhill in wooden coffins, and this is when things got disturbing. Later that day, the dead peasants reappeared in person at Drakelow, carrying their own coffins astride their backs.
What the shit?
Wandering around Drakelow for the night, the men sometimes shapeshifted into the form of bears and dogs and knocked on doors of the local peasants, urging them in loud voices to
Move, quickly move. Get going, come.
Come. Banging on the door. Oh,
What's that noise? Oh, it's that fucking badger again, banging at the door, shouting, "Come!"
go on. Come. Go on, come. Oh, it's got to be those fucking bastards.
bastards, the badger bastards.
If they
This way-
listen, if they've got the talent to shapeshift and carry around coffins and all that shit, why are they wasting their time running around going, come, like, do something better with your time?
No idea. Eventually, a terrible plague followed the undead peasants to Drakelow. All of the living peasants except 3 sickened. So most of the peasants got sick and
Yeah.
died. Count Roger, as he's now known, terrified at the turn of events, begged forgiveness from the Abbot of Burton and prayed to Saint Modwina. He commanded his reeve, which is like his police force,
All right.
to bring double the crops he had stolen from the monks before fleeing to other lands. And at Drakelow, the 2 remaining peasants got permission from the bishop to exhume the 2 plague-bringing Stappenhill men,
Yeah.
cake boys.
Yeah.
Their bodies were intact, and the burial shroud around them and their mouths were stained with blood. Interesting.
Oh.
As in more familiar vampire tales, the undead were dealt with by being mutilated, like having their heads cut off. The survivors removed the corpse heads and placed them between their legs in the grave. So that's something that happened quite often.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because in Victorian times, people were really scared that they turned into vampires and or undead, put cages over the...
That's right, over the
when they
tombs.
bury-
Yeah, there's a
tombs.
little church near me's got all that shit going on there.
Yeah. Well, you're
Yeah.
bloody lucky
Yeah.
in case it does happen. They also removed their hearts, burying what remained of their bodies again, and burned the organs from sunrise till sunset. Much like the whistling neighbour.
Right, what you burning over there? I'm burning a pissy finger. What are you burning? I'm burning organs for 12 hours. I mean, like, you know, I'm a chef. It doesn't take that long to burn organs. I can tell you that.
No, it's awful.
What are you doing? Sous vide in it? I got this on a slow roast.
Right in the cooker.
Oh, it's gonna be so tender.
Slappy lips. Finally, the hearts they were cooking cracked violently, and the oars struck onlookers, probably the 2 people that survived this,
Right.
saw a crow fly from the flames, which was understood to be an evil spirit. The vampire slayers fled to the next village with their families, and Drakelow was a cursed place and abandoned and avoided for many years to come.
What?
Come!
Watch out! The crow's coming. Come! That would really put me off my game.
It's a
Really
vibe
put me off.
campaign from Anne Summers.
Well, like fucking spice up your love life. Get a badger costume and like
Badger costume.
if any animal was to say, "Go on, come now," I'm like, in a minute, man.
Stop it! You're making
Yeah.
it go down.
Do you think that's what the foxes outside my front lawn are doing every night? Go on, come!
Interlude.
Do you remember when we were young and we were walking back from a train station one night, and we were walking back to my house?
Yeah.
And we're having a laugh, like we
Right.
usually do, talking shit, and all of a sudden, like we hear screaming in the woods near where we're walking.
Yeah.
Horrific screaming, and we're like
Yeah.
we're frozen solid because like we're scared shitless of any violent encounter or noise.
Yeah. Especially
look-
down there,
Especially down there, we're
down
like,
by the bridge.
oh, someone's getting raped, and then we
Yeah.
actually ran.
Yes.
Yeah. We ran all the way home.
Yeah.
It was foxes, just fucking... We're like, there's been a murder over there, and it's just like fox fucking.
I'm not gonna lie, like we weren't exactly straight. Then, like, you know,
we're
a bit waffed.
we're campy lads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
changed nowadays, though. I'm a geezer.
Yeah, lads. We're like, oh no, a rape.
Why did it come to that conclusion?
Showgirls.
So, yeah, scarred us.
Showgirls and Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Porn.
So yeah, those are my folk tales from English history. I thought it might be good to kind of wind the podcast off here by trying to create our own folk tale, something that listeners can push forward, pass it forward,
Yeah.
and create, and in my humble opinion, myth and legend that will last through time and history. So, so pick an area of the country.
Oh shit. Otford. Kent. Yeah, Kent. We know it well. Come on.
Okay. Otford in Kent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what time period are we talking about here?
1990s.
The 90s. Okay. All right.
You know, round by the duck pond.
Yeah, I know the duck pond.
Yeah, you know the duck
Yeah, I know
pond.
the duck pond. Right. Someone getting off the school bus round there.
Yeah. No, do you not remember the Adam Smith thing?
You tell me every time we see each other.
Yeah, I do.
You do. Bad and
One of my
Biff.
favourites.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking Otford, Kent in the 90s. Okay. So I need some kind of like a mythical creature or something like that.
Right, okay.
It could be anything. You can make it up.
No, I need gates.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So
So you do. I chose the location.
All
You
right,
choose the beast.
so down by the duck pond,
Yeah.
you got the little church sort of spire thing.
Yeah, with the ruins behind
Yeah,
it.
the ruins behind
yeah.
it. Right. That's our location. Yeah.
I used to love. I always reminded me of Aquila when I went round there. Yeah, I was like, oh, Aquila.
Will it is life. Okay. To anybody listening to this who doesn't know Aquila, stop listening. Fuck off. Go to YouTube and watch every episode.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Like,
It is
really
great.
good, actually.
Like the
Can't remember.
concept, very highbrow concept.
I do. Like, you know, it's a political agenda was right.
Roman ruins and alien civilizations.
Yeah.
And two
Birds
lads
in one.
had a laugh.
Yeah. Two lads fucking about.
Wow, what are they doing? They go into the local like supermarket. They're stealing onions because it was transparent. They're like, "Yep, got some onions."
Oh, got some shallots over here.
That's right. Feel so guilty though. They go back and put them back. Yeah.
Respectful, moral
Morals.
people. Morals, because morals.
Because morals. Okay, so in the tower in Otford in Kent in the 90s, there appears on each Sunday of the month
Yeah, nice.
a hairy woman.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, we know this because this
Yeah.
happens.
This
is not-
Barbara.
This
What
is
are
not
you talking
part.
about?
This is not
Yeah.
part of the legend. Anyway, the
He used to
hairy
work in one shop. One stop.
One stop, yeah. One stop. Yeah, yeah. Got beard grooming tips off of her. So
Did you?
like the comb over.
Oh, right.
So Barbara one night was walking past the ruins, and she told us this story. Okay, so in the 90s, when she was a young hairy woman, she remembers seeing 5 hooded figures in the ruins around a table there.
Yeah.
Chanting.
Yeah, they were.
Barbara was so shocked by this,
Mm.
she couldn't move. So she stayed on the high street, so you can have a look through. You can just kind of make out this. And smoke is pouring around the ruins. It's black smoke. Like shit's
Around these hooded youths.
Around these hooded youths. Like,
yeah, loads of smoke around them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's a weird smell in the air. Like, you can't quite tell what it is. It's a pleasant smell.
Fruity.
Fruity. You get kind of lightheaded around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barbara, completely stricken by this, pops to one stop and gets a bag of Doritos.
Like, oh, yeah, I'll have the cool originals, please. Soft on my tongue.
Okay, so, all right. Disregard Barbara. Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, wasn't it the Beast of the Duck Pond? Is that the one you're talking about?
It could be there was something. So yeah, like the Beast of the Duck Pond. Like it's weird. In a small village in Kent called Otford, this is a real thing as well, by the way.
Yeah.
There was a duck pond in the middle of the roundabout.
Yeah, massive.
It was huge. And the ducks were so well cared for. That duck pond was beautiful, and a fucking like 3-story house in the middle of it, so they could all like do duck fuck parties, like, you know, like lay style like parties. They're like
you were setting the scene so nicely. a lovely chateau, a lovely picturesque environment where they could have duck fuck parties.
That's why there were so many ducks there. Yeah, no, like that duck pond was there. Like it's quite famous around the area. People go there. Like there's pubs that have gardens pointing at it.
Yeah,
like, it's deliberately looking at there. But
guarding it.
But every third Saturday, a beast comes out of the lake pond in the middle, right? And he's sending cars the wrong way round the roundabout.
Stopping traffic.
Like, no. He's got a high-vis jacket on. And he's like, oh, that way.
Yeah, how many times, honestly, you know that I think the pub is actually called the Pond, right on the corner opposite that one. Oh, do you know how many times I'm in there, like drinking, playing pool, and then look over and like at the end of the night, and there's people in the fucking pond,
there's people in the pond,
clambering around. Hey, we're in the pond. Ah.
I know, stupid idiots. Yeah, but there we go.
I did it.
Yeah, who didn't do it? Who didn't do it?
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good spot. So there we go. That's the that's our myth. I mean, it's not so much a myth as more a recollection of memories that could have happened with the beast in the duck pond and the horrible traffic accident. So let us know if you live in Otford, and you know, can you remember that roundabout? And is everything we said true? And if it is true, please put that on our Instagram and tell everyone. Like this was it. This was a story. We'll share your story if you also make a story on your Instagram stories promoting the duck pond and the beast of the duck pond. Share. So that has been English myths and folklore. I hope that you feel now well informed about the medieval period, Rob. Moving forward,
I can't believe I'm full to the brim now.
Yeah, exactly. Well educated. This has been a podcast or an episode that's, you know, is veering into the Stephen Fry section of like Audible and you know, Spotify's like top 100 myths and legends podcasts.
Yeah, it's kind of like where it's our niche now.
Yeah, we're just going to do myths and legends.
Forever.
You know, next episode is going to be completely different because that's what we're doing. And it's more out of the fact that we can't fucking figure out what we're going to do anyway. So. So, if you know Rob and myself, we are not consistent. And the
No.
podcast reflects that quite well.
Consistently inconsistent. Inconsistent.
Inconsistent. So yeah, next week we will be back with something completely different. If you do want to contact us with your own myth from like a local legend, tell us. Let us know. We'll give you a shout out for it on the podcast. We'll share the story. We'll do everything we can. You are our community, and then we'll make sure that you are known for whatever bollock story you're going to say. Much like our own bollock stories that we put on a public platform to be listened to by people.
Scrutinized.
Yeah. So contact us on our social media. Make sure you follow us on TikTok at My Humble Opinions Podcast.
Like and share.
Absolutely. Follow us on Instagram at Humble Opinions_podcast. We are on YouTube as well, so you can listen to the podcast on YouTube. So that's the end of the episode. Listen next week for a new episode. I've been Paul.
I've been Rob.
And you've been listening to the In My Humble Opinion podcast. Ta-ra!
Ta-ra, bye.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the In My Humble Opinion podcast, English Folklore. Join us on Instagram by searching at humbleopinions_podcast or TikTok by searching at In My Humble Opinion podcast or viewing us on YouTube by searching In My Humble Opinion Pod, or one word.